Alright everyone, looks like we only have a couple people on, but we're going to go ahead and just mess with this guy until people actually start joining. So just doing a quick 360, as some people would want to see this again who haven't seen the 1 hour and 8 minute review that I did really late last night. But I wanted to show this off again. A lot of people had questions about the paint. So, I mentioned this before. This guy is fully painted, okay? And it looks like some people are joining. Go ahead and leave comments. I'm going to try to make sure to answer these questions as they come along, but I might miss them. So, if I miss your question, just go ahead and type it again. But people asked about the paint, whether this guy is painted or not. He is definitely painted, and almost all of them is painted. And it's probably hard to see a bit on the 720p. I think is the maximum live will allow you to do, but it actually is metallic flaked. So this is not gray plastic. This is gray plastic here, but this is all painted. The arms are painted. You can see the wear on the arms here, and this came out of the box for mine like that. Another example is like here from Transformation. There's a little speck missing. But yeah, the majority of this guy, his waist piece, his thighs, most of his legs here, this kind of gunmetal color here. This is, I think, one of the only bare pieces of plastic that I can think of, and even the plastic here is kind of metallic flaked. Are you having a lot of wear issues from Transformation? Yes, so that's what I've been going through. Some of these were right out of the box, like this chest piece here has like a hair that was underneath the paint. But in terms of Transformation, there are a few places particularly that you want to be aware of. So when you're using like the scope and everything like that on the barrel of the gun, when you get to the very last, this much, you get wear all around here. So you can see, hopefully you can see that. And I don't know how focusing really works on live, so hopefully it's kind of auto-focusing, but around here on the site is all paint wear. Just from using this one time before I shot my review last night. I literally used it one time, put it on, put it off very gently, and I got paint wear there. You're going to see more paint wear in a variety of places. Like some pieces here on the back, just from where it's positioned in either robot mode or gun mode. I see some on the thigh right here. So it is definitely a bit disappointing. I did say, and some people had mentioned before, because of the way like the chest transforms like this and then goes up, you potentially get some wear on the face. So I would actually recommend, and I did it in my review, to go ahead and take the face off by just pulling up on it here, pulling up on it like this, and transforming like that. Hey, what's your view of the controversial Decepticon logo? I don't know if it's controversial. They're going towards more of a toon look, right? So we saw with Shockwave, here I actually have them at hand. Shockwave came with a sticker sheet, right, a decal sheet, and it had both the, I guess what we call the traditional Decepticon logo that we see in most of the branding, but they also had a row of the quote-unquote toon accurate ones, which are like these squat, more squared off ones. I don't mind, because I know they're going for the toon look, right? So if they're going for that aesthetic, then why not keep with it with the Decepticon symbols, the logos themselves? So I don't know why it's very controversial, but if people think it's a controversy, I guess they could always get some repro labels and just put that on here. Oh, I do have some wear right here. That's from Transformation. So there are wear spots. Just be very careful. That's why I was very meticulous in my review. I'm seeing more now that you guys are pointing it out to me. I was going to say, too, the Decepticon logo looks a little squash. Yeah, it's, again, like the toon logo. Right up here, there's some wear. But yeah, so what do you guys want to see? Let me know. I really want this a little too pricey. Yeah, it is pricey. I think there is a lot of value. Like if I go ahead and bring out all these accessories that you get, and you can see just how much you get with this guy. I think it's a good value, and it's really well engineered, really well done. I talked about it in the review, how I like flight stands, but having to pay for, $15, $25 for a flight stand seems kind of ridiculous when you have this option for the flight stand here. And this flight stand is really quite nice. It's really tough to get in, but it goes in right into his butt here. And you just gotta shove it in. And it works really well since it's ratchet and locked. Can you please activate the sounds and lights? There are no lights. You have people who are complaining about the back here. Let me take him off of here. I will do the sounds in just a second, folks. So just give me a sec, since we're already talking about the back. So there's a couple things about the back. It is pretty Ghibli, especially when you compare it to, say, Apollyon back here, which has a nice clean back and a nice, more traditional looking portion for the top of the gun, I guess the rail. I don't even know what's called, the rail, the slide of a gun. But yeah, so you're gonna get a bit of a different look with this guy. So sounds. There's no LEDs. I talked about the gun before, the sounds before. Let's go ahead and move these off to the side for now. You have two LR44 batteries that go in here. Okay, just a Phillips head screwdriver, and you place them in, and then you have three switches. Three positions for this red switch here. The front, middle, or back. The front one does this blaster sound, and apparently this is the sound that they used in the Japanese anime. I'm not sure, but it doesn't sound like the sound that we got from the US one, which was, a very different sound. I'm not going to try to make that sound. I'm not good at sound effects, but it was definitely a really iconic sound from our childhood. The middle one is where all the voice acting goes. And someone mentioned before that it was reused to some of the sounds from the reissued Galvatron or something like that. I don't remember. Transform. Okay, so that's all I think there's 5 different ones. I can't really be sure without going through it. And it is random. And the very back one is the transformation sound. So there's 2 of them. And that's it. So that's it for the sounds. There's no actual LED or electronics in the main body himself. And when he goes into alt mode, there's no trigger sound or anything like that. What Shockwave did, unfortunately. One of the things, since we're talking about this cannon attachment anyway. Oh, so here's a bunch of scrapes from just this attaching and detaching on the cannon arm. All this was not there when I originally got it, just from various transformations and sliding this on and off, probably like a dozen times or so between the review and my practice. Yeah, Frank Welker, that would have been awesome. I'm sure somebody's super smart and more technical than I am can probably open this up, and there's probably some kind of, reprogrammable chip, and then they could probably do that. Some entrepreneurial person on the boards, I imagine, will go ahead and do that, or maybe a third-party company will go ahead and do something like that. Since it is just an easy attachment, it could really easily knock that off. Battle damage, yeah. In addition to somebody said, don't worry about that. All the paint scrapes, I can just keep it with the battle damaged portions and use that as my display. I'm actually pretty picky. I'll get to the weight in just a second. I'm pretty picky about my figures, and I like them being pretty crisp. So I'm actually considering dropping another $230 just to keep one mint. But I'm hoping at some point that maybe they'll do a US release, so I can have Welker's voice, or at least maybe a more silver painted version. That would be ideal for me. So here's some battle damage to go along with the paint scrapes. As far as weight goes, he weighs 15.6 ounces with this setup here, with the cannon and the original chest and head. So just under 1 pound. Compared to MP-10, I think he's like 14 ounces or something like that. I think he's by and large, aside from Ultra Magnus and Star Saber, which are both huge characters, he's the heaviest of the MP line. I think the modern MP line. So I'm not talking about MP5 or MP2 or anything like that, or MP1. Yeah, see, so this guy's heavier and much larger, but I don't really count him. From the new scale, he's probably the heaviest, aside from Ultra Magnus and Star Saber. So people are asking about diecast. I don't know all the pieces that have diecast. I gotta just kind of guess, but most of the foot is diecast. So all these different sections, the front here, the side here, this piece, and the rear kind of heel spur piece, which you can like flip out for extra stability. Those are all diecast. I think that's the majority of the diecast. I think there are some parts on the inner workings, but I'd have to go back and check again that has some diecast. Maybe, no, not these sections. But I think the gun barrel is, and maybe some parts in here. But honestly, I'd have to go through an entire transformation, which I can do if you guys want, just to do a diecast check. I think this is diecast as well. And so one of the backpack pieces that I mentioned right here, there's a little hook that goes into this groove here that kind of secures the backpack a little bit, but it doesn't really work that well. So it's kind of a failed execution of that. But it's still sturdy enough where it's not going to flop around just from the friction. The transformation is pretty amazing. Really well engineered. I'm really torn between this guy and picking up Fans Hobby spots. Yeah, I haven't collected any of the Fans Hobby stuff. That's just not my bag, I guess. The stuff that they've done so far. Maybe the Laser Prime that they're coming out with sometime soon. I might do that. But people seem to really like their Nemesis Prime or whatever, their Scourge. Did I miss any questions? Again, some of these are coming a little bit faster than I am able to read. So, do you guys want me to go through transformation live to see how badly I might mess it up? So we can do the alt mode. Let's do that since nobody seems to have questions. So you can do transformation with this cannon on or off. I'm going to leave it on just so you guys know how to do it with it on. I'm going to take off this face just because I don't want it to get scratched. So let's go. On the back here, first thing you'll do is lift this up, release the hook if you have it, flip out this little panel here, and then you're going to flip on this double hinge for the barrel like that. So it's kind of flattened out. Replace this guy. Okay, no instructions. What does no instructions mean? Don't do in transformation. I think some people are interested. So once we do this, we'll answer more questions. But you guys can ask questions while I try to transform this. So you go ahead and flip all these around. Again, I think the transformation is really neat. It's just that it's really challenging, and all Megatrons, G1 gun Megatrons, have to do a lot. So you got to give them some leeway. So with the chest, we'll go ahead and rotate it like this, and then this slides up like so. All right. From here, what am I doing here from now on? Oh, so go ahead and lift the arms. These kind of side pieces here. We'll be doing like this. Yeah, Hasbro USA probably won't do it just because he's a gun. That makes sense. Flip these around. But who knows? I mean, there could be something. In my dreams, I would love to see a Welker version for sure, even if it was from an Asian release. So once we have that, one of the things I like to do at this point is get the arms and shoulders untabbed from here. Just get them hanging out. Rotate these pieces just really quickly so you can get these add pieces up and around. And I do like that they have red there. Come on. There we go. I also like to, at this point, do the rotation at the hip joint. It just makes it, for me, easier to deal with everything upper body and lower body wise. So let's just do the upper body. Quality wise, Mitron definitely should be heavier. They're both really quality pieces, so it's hard to say. But I really don't like Mitron's lower body and hands, and his backpack kibble is way more of an eyesore to me personally. So anyway, so once we have that done, we're gonna go ahead and get these barrel pieces up like that. You see the head gets in there. You do have a little bit of a gap from removing the face, but that's not a big deal since it's the under part of the gun. And then this tab will go in. I probably don't need to do detailed instructions for this, but I'll just mention the parts where I think are a bit of a challenge. And see, I have a damage here, and I don't know why. I don't know if that was out of the box or during my first transformation, but I had damage on this part here. And then I don't really like the gun barrel. Mitron's gun barrel was really annoying as well, if I remember correctly. So just the fact that there's like a bunch of tabs here makes it really challenging. There we go. And then you rotate the barrel like this. So we got most of the front part done. Go ahead and ask more questions as I do this, whether it's related to transformation or not. I'll try to answer those. Let's go ahead and do the arms. The arms are really tricky because there's like several joints and mechanisms here, and they connect in a variety of places. So watch my video, my review, if you want really detailed, but I'm going to try to speed through this as to not bore people with content that I've already kind of done before. Take this up, get this around. But yeah, my take is I never really liked Mitron all that much. I thought his face sculpt was really amazing. Besides this one from Takara Tomy, I think Mitron's was the best of the third parties. Personally, I didn't like. It does not come with batteries. You had to get 2 LR44 batteries on your own. But for me, Despotron was really well executed, but just didn't look the part of the Megatron I wanted. Really bulky, more of a, I don't know. I'm not sure what look exactly they were going for with that design. I'm sure there was specific design that they wanted. So here's most of the one arm done. Okay, and then we're gonna rotate that in. When we do the final transformation, we'll do the same thing here. The hands are really nice though. They're not as articulated as, you know, third-party stuff, but more articulated than we typically get with the first-party stuff. So kudos to them. Pull this out. For those of you just joining, I did answer a bunch of questions already, but go ahead and ask some more, and I'm happy to answer those. And I'll probably be doing this for about an hour or so, or depending on how long it takes me to actually transform this guy, maybe to and from. So rotate this around. Come on. If I missed any questions, go ahead and re-ask them. Again, I'm trying to do this. I loved how they execute the transformation. Yeah, really impressive. Just be careful with some parts, okay? So once again, this is kind of where we need to be in terms of his arm. Like that. Now the lower body. Dealing with the hips, just deal with the hip skirts here. Yeah, the legs are long. That was one of the major concerns people had from the reveal. If you look at the animation drawing though, the Sunbow one that they usually use for kind of like the scale chart, he did have fairly long legs, and it does look like at least some version of Megatron that we've seen from the tune. I agree, I would have liked the legs to be a little bit shorter, but it's not that big of a deal to me. So we're gonna go ahead and get these pieces kind of out of the way, the crotch pieces here. This is the other scary part. So these pieces need to rotate down, but it's really tough here, and you can see, you might not be able to see, it's already getting worn here. It's a little disconcerting. The first time I did it, I really thought I was gonna break my figure. Just be careful with it. But that mechanism goes like that. It's pretty solid overall though. Now going with the legs. Side fits well with Shockwave. Yeah, it does fit well with Shockwave. Let's go ahead and do the legs. The legs are really complicated, but also really well engineered. Just get the feet out like this. Pull out on this toe piece. Again, mine right here, this pin joint, and I can't even loosen it because it's not a screw. It's really tight. I apply way more force than I'm comfortable with. Like right now, that is super scary. I just fear I'm going to break it at some point. This flips up and untab two halves of the legs, and then you can close this down. Pull back on this. There's a little flap here. So once you do all that, you can actually get the foot all the way back. this is where it gets kind of cool. It does look kind of like the way the Megatron does its transformation for its arms and legs, except instead of folding forward to back, like Megatron did, you're going to go up and down. So, come on. The inner leg goes up. Oh, no, I forgot. I always forget to pull this out. I got to pull this out first. And then you close it. So it collapses really well. Are there tiny joints in the hip skirts looking like a possible problem? No, I mean, there are a lot of joints in here. So for here and here, there's 2 hinges. And then this has 2 hinges here and here. So you just have to be mindful of how that works, because it is a little tricky and you don't want to stress or damage anything there. So just be careful when you're doing with it, but not a issue, I would say. I don't have concerns about breakages, at least. Then once you have that done, you just plug this into the back. This piece will fold forward like this. Then once the foot's all the way back here, kind of like Shockwave, you push this. Again, this joint is killing me. And it forms the 1/2 of the gun handle like that. All right. So let's do the other leg really quickly. Yeah, I'm sure this is probably boring for some people who don't want to see transformation, so I'm trying to get through it pretty quickly. But I think if you haven't seen the transformation, it is really cool. You just have to experience it once or twice before you get used to it. The first time it took me about an hour to transform it just into the gun mode the first time. But after, 2 or 3 transformation practices that I did to get ready for the review, I'm pretty set now. I'm pretty good. And it's not like MP5 where I dread having to do that. I actually skipped doing the comparison because I didn't feel like transforming MP5 because that thing's a nightmare. And it feels like you're going to break everything. At least this one, you don't feel like you're going to break stuff. It definitely is easier than MP5. I don't know about Apollyon. I never thought Apollyon was that much of a hassle to transform, but maybe that's just me. I thought it was kind of interesting too that I got this figure really early, and I got to review Apollyon. I think I was one of the first people to review that, so really lucky there. This is the other really cool part of this. So let's go ahead and bring this down 90 degrees. From your personal experience, does it feel like fun and accomplish this transformation or feel like work? The first couple times it definitely feels like work. It's not an enjoyable transformation. So for example, I really like Inferno and stuff like that, but I don't love this transformation. I like Soundwave's transformation, but this one is not that enjoyable. Anyway, the other cool part is you're going to press in on these to kind of loosen them up, but these kind of collapse in on themselves like this. And that was really confusing at first because I hadn't seen this before. So let's see, getting the arms, hip skirts down like this. The reason why you have to have this hip skirt piece down is because there's a little ridge here, and this has to go on the inside of that. Same thing on this side. Get this down, get this up and down. And the 2 hip skirts here have to go in between the handles. So you might have to do a little bit of squishing while you do this, but it's not too bad. And again, making sure this ridge goes in like that. See, this is currently on the outside. You don't want that. There we go. But once you have that done, everything else kind of falls into place. Just close it up. There's a couple of tabs here and there. Oh, I didn't pull out the trigger guard. You can do that one pretty much whenever you want. There we go. And I mentioned before, the connection of the legs is an over and under tab, not just a pushing tab. So don't just push on this. I wouldn't advise that. Get it over and under to get it secured. Otherwise, you may damage that piece, that tab. This piece flips up, and now we're basically done. This arm comes up and back. Oh, this piece folded back in. Up and back, like this. Tabs in back here. Same thing on this side. So fold it back while simultaneously folding it up. Like this. And for some reason, this side I always have a little bit more clearance issues with. Oh, I always forget to flip this around. Flip this around the cannon on the right arm. And there we go. We have him finally transformed into alt mode. And as people mentioned, you know, while the original was kind of designed off the Walther P-38, this is supposed to be more animation accurate, which was kind of a faux gun, or somebody was saying for the Man from U.N.C.L.E. The next G1 masterpiece, I think it's the, what's it called? The recolor of Inferno. What's his name? I'm not gonna remember his name. I remember the Kojin is the name of the Mastermind Creations one. Artfire. So here we go. In terms of the stock, just make sure you have this piece folded all the way back down like this. Go ahead and collapse it. This part is die cast here on the stand. And then this button has to go on the bottom. These two tabs will go into the back of his legs. So I think Artfire is the next one. I could be wrong. And then I don't want to put this in all the way because I end up damaging my figure every time I do it, but you can see there's only one way to put this in. You just go ahead and push it in. The G1 toy, I think, was like this. It didn't go all the way in, so I guess you can have that look, but you can push it all the way in more, and I'm feeling it scrape right now, and I really don't want to do it anymore, but I'm doing it for you all. There we go. When you received them was no orange plug for mine, so I got mine from Toy Dojo, or their supplier. Artfire. Oh, really? Autofire? You can be called Autofire. I didn't know that. Anyway, you put there was no plug here, but in the clamshell, there was actually extra space on the front of the suppressor, as well as the front of the top of the barrel for robot mode. So they had like a little bubble here. It's cut out so that there was a plug that could fit in there. So they planned for that, just not the one that I had. Does it seem better? Oh, sorry, something about Apollyon, but retype that comment and I'll answer. Although I won't be buying this guy, I have to admit he's most clever engineered. Yep. How did it get through customs? I don't know. I mean, magic. Toy Dojo has the hookup. Clearly, I don't know. It got through customs just fine. But that is a really, really long alt mode. Unfortunately, none of the accessories work in this mode as far as I can tell. Oh, I'm sorry. Really quickly, stretch this out. There we go. None of the accessories actually work in this mode, and you know what? I haven't looked through this before. I wonder if you can actually see through this. No, you can't. Okay, never mind. They both have some translucent pieces here, so I thought you might be able to look through it. But there's no effects parts that work in here. It would have been cool if you can use this as an effects part or something like that, but you can use it for the blaster. I'll do a quick shot of all the other sides. Underside here, there's his robot mode head. Don't ignore that gap. I took off the face for you, those of you just joining, to protect my face and helmet, but it wouldn't be as gappy here. All this stuff is not too terrible. Along the back here, let me take off this stock so you can see that a little bit better. A little bit gappy. Kind of reminds me how it's a bit gappy on the back of Soundwave. Shockwave. I keep saying Soundwave, but it's not too bad. It's not as open, and the safety switch does actually work. I pre-ordered a BBTS, hoping its mine's not glued. Yeah, I don't know. For a big retailer like BBTS, I imagine that they will have an orange plug. But if it's anything like the ones that came with Apollyon or the MP5, it should be fairly easy to get that out. It should be. Some people, what they have done in the past is kind of just use a hairdryer to get it out, to get the glue warm and pull it out. The ones that I had, I just pulled it out. It didn't require. Oh, transformation sound. It didn't require a lot of effort to get the plugs out of the ones of the Megatrons I've gotten before, like Apollyon, and then I think one of my masterpiece Megatrons had it too, MP5s. I've had a couple of those in the past because some were better than others. So alt mode. Did anybody have any alt mode questions or any questions I can answer? We're about 30 minutes. I probably want to try to end this in about an hour, but if there are still people who have questions or want to see something, I'm happy to stay a little bit longer. Isn't a very clean transformation, a lot of space hollows. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I do have a Polyon. I really don't want to transform him right now because it's been a while. But I don't remember any perfect, like really clean one. There are a lot of panel lines here. That's one of the major complaints. Yes, the barrel is already damaged right around here. And that's from using this, especially here. As far as the best alt mode, I don't know. I really like MP5's alt mode in terms of the overall look with the upgrade kit. So if you remember, MP5 didn't come with any of this. I had to buy this upgrade kit separately. But when it's all complete, it looks really nice as opposed to its robot mode. So one of the things I kind of want to do is get MP5 transformed, use the kit, and put it in maybe a shadow box on the wall. And I think that would be a cool display because I'm never going to display that thing in robot mode. But he does have a better size. He's not as thickly handled as Despotron. Despotron was pretty fat because the legs were pretty fat. I think, if I remember correctly, he's not as big, if I recall, as Apollyon, but they're all pretty big. They're much bigger than, say, what a, again, not supposed to be Walter P38 exactly, animation version, but pretty close. I did talk about diecast. On the wall, great wall display. Yeah, Sarge, that's what I kind of want to do. In terms of the diecast, I did talk about it. Most of the feet, I think maybe all of the foot is, for both the barrel here is diecast. I probably shouldn't flick that. It's considering all the paint scrapes. He does have some actually detail on the barrel though. It'd be cool if it was bored out and spiraled. I forget what it's actually called. Again, I'm not a gun enthusiast, but it would have been kind of cool if they did that. And again, if you put the lever all the way forward, you get those sounds. What's the best MP Megatron that fits with MPP10 Prime? MPP10? Rifling, thank you, Sarge. The MPP10, I mean, they're going to be doing a oversized versions of a couple of Megatrons, I think. There's one that's like an original design that that's coming out. That's kind of a mix, I think, between different ones. So I don't know. I imagine, as Mouse's 1981 says, that somebody will do a knock-off oversize. But for now, in terms of pure size, yeah, as Tuckett OS Prime says, MP5 is the only one that's really up to the size. If you guys actually want me, here, actually let me show you guys that while we're here. This isn't a MPP10 one, but let's go ahead and show this off. Sorry, give me a second. So MPP10 here, and you can see MP5 stands about head to head with it. So I forget who asked that question. I love it. As a new multi-pack, do you think what's after Artfire? I have no idea. There have been rumors about Jazz for a while. There's been rumors about Galvatron for a while. I recently heard from my buddy Eric. I don't know if he's online or not, but Eric said that he got some news that it might be another a Masterpiece Prime, a newer, more cartoon accurate MP Prime, which would be interesting to get another Masterpiece Prime. It's been a while. It's been a while for MP10, and I still love MP10. MP10 is still easily one of my favorite molds. I have, I think, 5 of that mold. But people are saying that they might do one that's a little bit more cartoon accurate without the gorilla arms, which I can understand, that has a less thick rear trailer connector piece, because this is actually pretty thick. They also said that the rumor, again, this is rumor, is that the grill or chest piece here might remove and do battle damage in line with the battle damage that we're seeing with MP-36, which would be cool. That'd be a really cool display piece to have the battle damage versions of each of those. Do I really want another Masterpiece Prime mold? Not really. I think MP10 is really good, and there are other characters that don't have a really good representation yet officially. So Jazz or something like that. Hey Eric, how's it going? Jazz, for example, Downbeat is probably the best one that we've had so far, and I think it touches a lot of the bases, but I really wish that they would do an official Jazz. That'd be great. Not sure how you can improve on MP10 without sacrificing the look. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of MP10s, Masterpiece Primes coming out. We had the Primorian, or come out afterwards, like Primorian, who I do have somewhere. He's in the back of one of my display shelves. They all have taken their own kind of takes at it, and I still think MP10 is the best overall well executed Masterpiece Prime so far. MP Constructicons, those have been rumored for a really long time. If we get into official Masterpiece combiners, that would be crazy. I mean, that I think would really kickstart a whole new, I guess, kind of wave or generation for the Masterpiece line. Kind of like the Beast Wars, right? But Eric says, Hoist, Trailbreaker, Jazz, Hound, Galvatron, and Skyfire are all done. So he's saying they're all done. He knows a lot more than I do. So go ahead and bother him in the comments and see how he knows all this stuff. He definitely has some connections. All right, so could you imagine the price of MP combiners? I don't want to imagine the price of MP combiners, but Hasui said he used a lot of the design elements and engineering that he had in plan for a Masterpiece Devastator on the Combiner Wars Devastator or Unite Wars Devastator. So he said he took a lot of that in his planning for that figure as well. So I don't know it would be that different, but then again we have Kobayashi back in the saddle, so it could be very different. So MP Toy World Devastator is actually really, really nice. I love that figure. I'm waiting for the box set to come out with all green thighs and more G1 head. So we hopefully will get that fairly soon from Toy World, and I'm going to get that. I'll do probably a review on that set later. So this is getting kind of boring for me just showing you this. What do you guys want me to show you guys? Do you guys want me to transform it back again, even though I just transformed it here? What other questions do you have? No? Nothing? Don't be shy. Ask some questions. If you guys want me to show some other display pieces alongside with it, I can. Transform MP5. No, screw you. Screw you. Yeah, the hammer does move, as well as the safety switch. What's easier, bot to gun or gun to bot? Gun to bot is way easier. I mean, because it usually is. It's kind of like just exploding everything. It's way easier, way faster. So I guess we should do it just because some people probably care more about the robot mode. Do you have pain issues from transforming him? Yes, I have a lot of pain issues from. Do you have Shockwave for scale? I do have Shockwave. I don't have him transformed, and honestly, if I transform him on stream without practice, it's probably gonna be pretty awful. I don't even remember how any of this works. Don't remember how the legs work. I remember it was crazy stuff, but I don't really remember. So I could probably do that, but I have a feeling that I will not remember how it's done properly. I also agreed that MP Laser Wave was a little bit smaller. How terrible is its paint chipping? Really quickly, since this is a stream about Masterpiece Megatron, there's chipping here. I got some damage here somehow. Most of it was on the barrel here because of the using of the suppressor. Just be very careful about the last inch or so. Then there's also some chipping here, around here. Had some on this piece. I think this piece might be diecast. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's not awful, right? It's more like scrapes as opposed to like just hard chipping. It is really quality paint, so it's not as like it's flaking off or anything like that. Underneath is gray. Underneath is gray. Oh, and then here, let me take off these scrapes here, and I don't know if this is actually scrapes on this part or if it's just paint coming off of here. I haven't tried to remove it, but I see it in a couple spots everywhere, which is pretty annoying. Is it worth the wedge, do you think? What's worth the wedge? What is it worth the wedge? Battle damage gun mode, yes. How are the Hasbro Combiner Devastator for the money? Oh, I mean, I think the Hasbro Constructicons are really well done overall for, 100 something for $100-something, $150, whatever it's going for. I think it's a really good price. And I'm not gonna know how to transform this guy without practicing. So I would show you a comparison of gun mode, but this would just be a travesty for me, for somebody who takes pride in transforming figures. Trying to remember how to do all this will probably not work out very well. Anyway, maybe I'll do some photos for you guys later. MP Collector, hey, how's it going? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and transform this back for the folks. I don't have a G1 Megs in my collection. Most people will probably be pretty surprised. Oh, actually, I do have one. I lie. I have one of the book ones, but I bought it on a whim, and I've never taken it out of the box because I just got it for a really cheap price. But I don't collect G1 figures. Some people are surprised about that. I only collect more modern figures like this. The only ones that I have from my G1 days are the ones I actually had from my childhood collection. I don't buy them typically. Again, I do have a book Prime and a book Megatron. I wonder if some future would help on the barrel. Yeah, probably. I don't have a problem with that. I do find that, having to apply future to prevent damage is asking a little much for a figure that you're paying like $300 or 200 something dollars for. But I get it. Not all figures are going to be perfect. And it's a quick and easy fix, right? So it's not that big of a deal to have to do that. Get the legs down like this. All right. We're just going back. Same here, pick a few left from child. But yeah, I'm not a big G1 collector. I like the modern design and engineering that we get from the Masterpiece line. I started collecting just because some people know this, some people don't. I started collecting again just by happenstance. I was in Toys R Us one day with my son, and I saw MP Soundwave. I think it was MP Soundwave was my first MP, and the thing was, I was like really impressed. I was like, wow, this is crazy engineering. And then I saw that it was like $130 or however much it was at the time it was released. But I was like, why not? And I didn't realize how hard it was to get one of those until joining the boards 3 years ago on TFW and realizing I got really lucky with my timing. And then I've been collecting ever since and doing reviews. All right, so this part you have to kind of pull out on the legs and pull down on the outside, on the inside of the leg, and pull up on the outside of the leg. And that way you get all these kind of collapsing pieces to get back in place. Tab this in. I had a similar experience with the MP10 Toys R Us edition. Yeah, I didn't get one of those originally, so I paid out the nose before a reissue was announced and released for MP10. I think I paid something like $200 something for my MP10 originally. Get the foot down. So people are asking, yeah, this whole section here, 1, 2, 3, I think 4 pieces are all die cast in the foot. So he has a really good stability in the foot. Same thing on the other leg. Get this unpegged. I'm gonna go ahead and pull like that. Get this up like so. Flip this little piece out. Collapse it like so. And come down. Hey Eric, am I putting you to sleep this time? Eric said he wanted me to be a bit livelier in my reviews. If you guys follow me, I'm not a very interesting reviewer in terms of being funny or making jokes. I'm just not clever off the cuff like that. I always think of stuff after the fact. How's MMC Megs looking? They haven't sent me any of that yet. I got to mess with that at TFCon, but it wasn't even complete. It was missing the full transformation pieces like the barrel and stuff like that. The new wave took on making the legs so long. Yeah, they are kind of long. What made you decide to start doing YouTube? Actually, the reason I did it was because people were asking what the difference was between the different MP Grimlock releases, and I ended up having the Takara release and the new Hasbro one, and then one other version, I think. And so just because people are asking about what the differences were, I did a review, and then from there, I just started doing it for fun. The way I got hooked up with Toy Dojo as my sponsor is actually just because I bought stuff from them for a long time, and I asked them if I could have a logo so I could help them advertise, since that's where I typically bought from. And they said, hey, are you going to be doing this like long term as a reviewer? Because I like your style, your transformations. And I said, I never really thought about it. I was just doing it for fun. And then they said, well, if you want to do it, we'll sponsor you. And so that was really it. I kind of got roped into doing it. I'm not a video guy. So yeah, thanks for watching. A long time viewer, Shogun. Thanks for watching one of my earliest videos. So that's how I got into it. No real purpose. I was just doing it for fun. People were asking for comparisons, and I just thought I did one. And I think that review was like an hour long too, at least. All right, so we got through most of this on the lower leg. All pretty much well done. We do have to rotate at the upper body, so let's go ahead and do that now. I just like to take care of that as soon as possible. And then the hip skirt's kind of just, this part folds in, this part folds in. So are all you guys waiting for your MP Megs? Are you guys still deciding on your MP Meg, whether you want it or not? Or are you guys satisfied with your Apollyon or Despotron or whoever that is? People are talking about this being kind of the gear walk mode, so you can do that. Yeah, this is his ab crunch, see? So that's what he's kind of using. He has about 90 degrees. Still deciding? Yeah. Luckily for me, I got Apollyon pretty cheap originally, so, you know, I didn't go ahead and dive into any of the other ones like Despotron or Mitron, because they didn't do enough above Apollyon for me. And I also, again, like the fact that Apollyon came with all those accessories to make the full alt mode. Alright, so let's get him out of this gear walk mode. Get this up. We're going to get out of the barrel here. Just kind of untab that. And then the two halves kind of split apart like this. Flip this around. Pre-ordered a long time ago. BBTS. Man, some of these are coming too fast. Hey Pig, out of the 4 available Megs, which has the best transformation? I really was impressed with Despotron's engineering. I thought it was the coolest one, although it had its own issues. So I kind of like that one. But as far as overall coolest and well done, I do think Takara Tomy did the best overall execution, even though it does sacrifice. It's not a perfect one. It does have the back kibble that people are well aware of. But in terms of like how impressive it was, the way it got it done, I think this was the best. Then probably Despotron. Mitron had some cool ideas, like kind of the same way they do the sandwiching of the legs and the arms. Mitron is kind of how the lower leg works here. So they all have some good parts to it. Just some also have a lot of bad parts to it. So it really depends. I wouldn't be, if I had to pick one, I would say this one is the best overall executed. Let's see, where am I going with this? Oh, let's go ahead and do the abs here. Bring these down. That was cool too, how they hid. And you can actually transform it without bringing these down. I actually did that the first time, and I was like, where are his abs? But there we go. Now we're gonna get to the arms. Extend the arms. We're gonna flip this around this way. You can only flip this arm panel on the left arm around one way, so just be careful or you'll damage your figure. So will be shipped with orange plug. Some retailers said that they are. I thought like Hobby Link Japan said that they are. I imagine like BBTS and TF Source will have to comply. But if you got yours like directly overseas, or actually Toy Dojo, I got this from their distributor. They sent it to me directly so I can have it early. And it didn't come with a plug. But I mentioned before, if you're just joining, that the clamshell actually has molded spots for plugs on the end of the silencer and on the gun barrel. So they made plans for that. So I would fully expect some of you guys to get orange plugs. As far as where you can connect Laserbeak, there was nowhere that I could see. It's not like on Apollyon where they had a little bridge. Unfortunately, I actually checked for that. But I have no idea what other kind of cool bonus interactions that they have with maybe some other figures at this time. For right now though, Laserbeak does not work. All right, so coming to the arms here, we do have to lift this panel on the arm, which can be a little bit difficult to get to, like that. So we're gonna rotate this, get this flipped around. This is the faux hammer, so it's not the actual hammer that we saw in the transformation before. That is down here, but it still gives you kind of like that look. Indeed, with those two parts that are currently on his back end up weren't waffle. I don't know what you mean. This stuff is just there. This doesn't really change, and we'll get to that just in a second. The only other thing you have to do here with the arm is pull this out and then rotate this up, and you can see that makes the flat part of the back, and that connects in like so, and flip this in and it tabs in there. So you have one side done, and the transformation for both sides is the same, aside from this arm panel being slightly different. You have this flap here, but otherwise it's identical in terms of transformation. Flap that up. Damn iPad. What damn iPad? Sorry, did I miss something? Come on. So I mentioned this before. Some of the tolerances are really tight to the point where you think you might be breaking it. The part on the side you just did has hollowness to it. On the side here or here, yeah, I mean there's definitely some hollowness in some of the design. He's definitely not perfect, but he does a good job overall. The other part that is hollow is his butt area. We'll take a look at that right now actually. So all this is hollow in here, and it just gets covered up by these flaps here, and you can still see into it a bit if you look at it from above and down, but it's not as bad as, say, Ironhide. Ironhide was terrible hollowness. I still hate that figure. People give me grief for not liking that MP Ironhide, but I think that was the worst of the modern line so far in terms of look. In terms of transformation and paint, really good. Some more paint rub here for those of you that were asking about stuff like that. Okay, so we're almost done now. We're done with all the hard parts. And you just flip up the barrel on the double hinge. You do have to rotate the gun because it's off-centered. So you have to rotate it so you get some clearance. And to also make sure it is facing the right way. Lastly, bring the chest down on these set of double hinges and rotate it. And I took the face off to preserve the integrity because it does potentially scratch. But here he is with a battle damaged face. Can you put the I'm sorry, can you put the cannon on the other arm? No, you cannot. So the way it works is it attaches here and it has these ridges. There's no such ridge on this one. So unfortunately you can't. Why would you want it on his left arm? That's not accurate. Come on, man. Can you let okay, you want Rumble to hold the cannon? Well, that depends, Jessel. What do you consider Rumble? Blue or red? If you get the wrong answer, or at least my opinion, a different opinion than mine, I'm not going to do it. Any differences between the mind control helmets MP5 and I can get the MP5 helmet out, but you guys are going to have dead air for about 30 seconds. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm lying. MP5 doesn't have the helmet, does it? I think Apollyon had the helmet. I could be wrong, but I just opened my MP5 box and I didn't see a helmet. Yeah, he had the Crimzeek. So somebody wanted Rumble. I'll go ahead and bring out Rumble. For me, being a cartoon fan in the US, Rumble is blue. So whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. You guys are wrong. Rumble will always be forever blue or purple. Yeah, MP10, while I'm doing this, here's with MP10. He is slightly heavier. He's about 14 some odd ounces. He's 15.6 with this configuration. Oh, I wish we get to collapse that. So there he is there. Here he is with Apollyon. He is slightly taller to the head, And some Jessel, you wanted him to carry the cannon. I don't know. I don't know how he would carry it. It's probably way too heavy for him, but you can probably make it work. But I'm looking forward to the MP scaled rumble and cassettes that MMC are making. So in terms of Jaguar, MP Jaguar, this is my MP Jaguar or rumble Ravage. And so I'm waiting for them to make a bigger rumble and so forth. So hopefully that Megatron 29, you approve of this. All right. I appreciate that. The coin, if you guys haven't seen it, my bad, I have an MP5. Yeah, the Apollyon, I would have to go into storage to get Apollyon stuff. I had to go into storage just to get MP5 because that's where he deserves to be, in storage. That figure sucks. In hand, seconded. What's seconded? Can't wait for MBMC's tape bots. Yes. Yes, Jessel Blue. Yes. Awesome. But yeah, I love this figure. If you guys don't know this figure, you should definitely look into it. It's Ocular Max's, technically, I think, their Jaguar. And he just moves really well. He kind of has this organic musculature to it. Really, really enjoy it. And a bunch of die casts. And I think it's about $50 or so. If you guys don't own one, I would recommend looking at my review. What is lame? Jack S. Laugh Out Loud. Apollyon is a nightmare to transform. Yes, he is. But this guy is no walk in the park either. So I think he's a cooler engineering transformation, but I think he might be harder overall than Apollyon here. Any other comparisons that you guys want? Here he is with Soundwave. I think it's definitely worth the Shogun Studios. I love their Ravage. Can you stand Apollyon as well? I had Apollyon out here just a second ago. Can you please show the ab crunch? I'll show that to you in just a second. So here he is with Apollyon really quickly. He's slightly taller. Ab crunch. So the way the ab crunch activates is pretty easy. You just go like this. So he gets a lot. He gets about 45 degrees. However, because of the way the chest mechanism works, you can slide it up just a little bit more to get more room. And then you can get about 90 as long as you don't damage the ab pieces. So you can get almost 90 there. You do have to mistransform him a bit, but... And he's really dynamic. I showed it off in the video. He does have hip skirts that kind of get out of the way so you can get really far. Just for all you folks who love it, the Iron Man pose, which I hate. Again, you can do a better job with the ab crunch and everything like that. I'm just trying to show you really quickly that he can do it. Did somebody ask me a question that I forgot? No, Apollyon's here. So how far does the head look? So the head is on a ball joint. So it can look up really far. And he's on a separate hinge on this neck piece. So he can look up really, really far. Sorry about that. You can look down decently far because of this hinge here. And again, because of the ab crunch, you can look down even further. Absolutely amazing. Off topic, have you handled the Insecticons? I've only handled the early test shots, which don't really count, and I couldn't even do a transformation. Can you mount Laserbeak on them? People ask that. There's no mounting that I found, like on Apollyon. There's no ridge here or anything like that. Real masterpiece price. How did it cost you, Pig? So obviously I get sponsored by Toy Dojo, so I obviously a good price break there. But he retails for about $230 with free shipping in the U.S. from Toy Dojo. And again, if you guys like these bonuses, like the coins like this or the diecast figures, if you pre-order from Toy Dojo, you get those absolutely free, which is nice. Someone asked about the batteries. The batteries are LR44. They can go on. You can't mount him, but I bet you can. If you try hard enough, you can probably get Laserbeak to balance. on here. Yeah, that wasn't even that hard. So you can get it done. Is this focus, guys? I know it's only 720p. That's all YouTube will allow from my phone. But unlike the program I use, I can't manually focus in, so it might be blurry. All right. Thanks, Sarge. Thanks, Omar, for letting me know. In terms of the batteries, you need 2 LR44 batteries, just 1 Phillips head, and you just open this up. If I had my screwdriver, yeah, I don't know where my screwdriver went. I would show you, but I showed it in the review. Very easy. MP5 was about that much, and then you could throw the silencer stock at them. Yeah, so I had to pay extra for the silencer in stock. I think the price is actually good. The price is high for sure, but he does come with a lot. As people are saying, he's the second most iconic character in the line, right? So I think MP10 was like $250 or $300 when he first came out, and on subsequent reissues. Even now, if you get a Takara MP10, you're going to pay something along the lines of $200+. And this guy, I think, is way more fun in terms of all the things that you can do. Yeah, he's entirely painted. He does have not a lot leg articulation. We went through that a little while ago, but I'll show it again. Ratcheted going out that way. It's only friction. Mine is a little bit loose on the left leg, but the legs are pretty heavy, so that's probably why. Knee bend, really nice knee bend. Thigh swivel, and then ankle tilt rockers, and then ratcheted ankles. I will say that the ratchets on the ankles are a little bit too spaced apart. You're either like this far, or then you're kind of leaning back. So you have to work a little bit to get that in the right position. He does have a butterfly joint for the shoulders, which we don't typically get with Transformers. So that's nice. So you can almost get a kind of a arms cross pose here. It's over, Prime. Sorry, Gabriel. I think that was Gabriel. I just missed your comment. Is there any kind of butterfly joint? Oh, I just showed the butterfly joint here, so. Accessories, since we haven't really talked about them, even though I did a review on them. He does have this Blitzwing gun. Star Saber head above butterfly joint. Thanks, Chris. And then he has this effect part, which is actually doubles as the energon effect for the Sword of Fate kind of thing that he screwed up Optimus on pretty good on the movie. So nice dual use of that. So you can actually have it unpowered and powered. If you're a stop motion person, this probably will help you out in your stop motion. He does have a energon mace. This one is the articulated piece, so you can get it kind of in a position that makes sense for a static pose. But then you also have an actual linked one here. Just unpeg these two pieces and then reuse them. I'm not sure if there's a particular orientation for these, but the pegs work on both sides, so it doesn't matter. Woo! Diecast key to vector sigma. This Megatron is by and large the best for me, just because he's very accurate to the cartoon, but that's not to say he's perfect. The instructions are really funny. They actually show you quote unquote how to use this, and it's just open the arm, open the hand, and put it in like this. I mean, it doesn't tap in or anything. It's weird that they took the time to do instructions on that. Can you use the purple line as a... I'm sorry, purple line as a what? Sorry, the comments disappear on my screen very quickly, so I do miss some of your comments. You said use the purple line for something. A leash for Jaguar. Yeah, I guess you could. Sorry, I'm trying to get Jaguar back out of my DTOF. Yeah. And the way this works is you just pull down on either of the hands. They slide down like this, and then you just slide this back up in there. Yeah, it kind of works as a leash. Heal. Go to the bathroom. Not on the carpet again. So yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. I mentioned in the review too. It's funny how many like just weird accessories that we've been getting with these lines. Say with Inferno and Grapple, like really obscure stuff that's like, come on guys, did we really need to spend money on doing a alternate chest piece just for carrying alert? Yeah, and Tolol something. Sorry, I think he's the best Megatron so far. Overall executed. Orient the cannon to the front arm. Not sure what you mean there. Do you mean attach it like this? To the forearm. To the forearm, yeah. I do have a Gigapower, dude. Yeah, hold on one second. The problem is all obscure accessories are driving. Yeah, see, that's why I agree, Rob. I agree. I'm all for accessories like the stuff we get from with this set, but the stuff for like Inferno and Grapple, they're just like so obscure that you have to have freeze frame and have, you know, an eidetic memory of the G1 show to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. He used that in season 2, episode blah blah blah, scene blah 13 minutes in. I don't care about that stuff, right? I want stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to do this display. Like this, these are awesome accessories. This bonus feature of seeing the inside X-ray of his head from the movie when he's being transformed into Galvatron by Unicron, that's awesome. That stuff I get. Having a carrying piece for alert for Inferno, who really cares? The various grappling hook things and claws that you get from with Grapple, I really don't care about that either. So I'm in for the playability, but it has to be meaningful to me. All right, so we're coming up on 67 minutes. We have a lot of viewers, so I don't want to stop. If you guys have more questions or want me to do something else, I did already do a transformation both ways, so I would like not to have to do that again. But Megs could have dropped the electronics and shipped with Mace stock and barrel and been like 150. Yeah, some people got it for a really crazy price overseas. Do you have Fans Toys Galvatron? I do not have Fans Toys Galvatron. Honestly, I didn't love that figure that much, so I didn't get him. I do have Tyrant. I don't know if that's going to be insufficient for your needs, but give me a second and I'll open up my display case and get Tyrant out. Sorry, I'm trying not to knock over all my figures. So this looks really good, right? I think this line up here looks quite nice. And I really like Tyrant. Transformation aside, which is really annoying, I really like him. Didn't you do a review of Galvatron, Fans Toys Galvatron? So I get review pieces from Toy Dojo a lot. I'm not so popular that I can get review pieces from Fans Toys directly or anything like that. I wish I were. That'd be cool. But I have to give everything I review back. So all early samples that you see me do, people assume that I get to keep stuff like that. I do not get to keep anything. You guys think I get stuff for free all the time? I really don't. The only stuff I get quote unquote for free are some MMC Ocular Max stuff, and that's because I do the official video manuals for them. Gewalt. I don't have Gewalt. I did have a production sample of that I reviewed, but I don't own him. I don't really like him that much, and I actually don't like. I like the KFC Ditka a bit better, but neither of them hit the spot for me. So I'm probably gonna wait until Fans Toys or maybe some other release to get my Blitzwing. So hopefully this satisfy you guys in terms of your Galvatron comparisons. MMC customer service is awesome. I know the people who do it, they're great, and they do try to respond as soon as possible. And not just the customer service, their whole team is really responsive and they really care. The reason why they asked me to do Am I getting MMC Artfire? I'm probably not getting that, but they'll probably send me one to do a review on in terms of the official manual or something like that. In that case, I probably will, but I already own, all of the other molds. So I don't really identify with Artfire or Autofire. Someone told me you can do that. Starscream. Oh, I knew somebody was gonna ask about Starscream. Starscream is in the back of my display. And okay, give me a second. Starscream, here you go. Hopefully that satisfies you. He's on my his flight stand. I like flight stands. And this is how I have him displayed. So hopefully that's enough of a seeker comparison for you all. Somebody is probably going to be asking about Quake Blast. I have one of these as well. They are coming out with the Astro Magnum version, the black version. Sorry, my review space isn't perfectly flat, so it makes it a little bit hard to get figures completely balanced sometimes. Yeah, Starscream was never meant to be that big, though. If you look at the scale chart, he's not supposed to be that big. How do you feel about Takara's shift towards anime accuracy? That's one place where I've debated very strongly about my opinion. I think the Masterpiece line should be a blend of the toy, various iterations. So the toy, the anime, maybe some other renditions. That it should be some kind of blend. I think that some of the versions are really good, but I think, say, like Ironhide, I think went too far into the plain look. With just the block legs, I hate that Ironhide. The Ironhide that I usually display, I don't know where he is. I usually have it with the. Oh, I don't have the instead of displaying the official Ratchet, I use the Voodoo Toys Ratchet. I prefer that one greatly. So, ANT, while you're at it, can you show us your collection? Oh man, my room is a mess right now, but you know what? I've never done that before, so give me a second. It's going to be a little jittery. Simonas, I did transform both ways. I can do it again in a bit, but it takes a while. So this is my review area. My office is the smallest room in my 5-bedroom house, but my collection is not anything crazy. So I only have room for like 2 Detolfs, some of my Solar Chigokin stuff. If you haven't gotten into that line, please don't. You're going to lose a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on this guy, but way less than I should have. Thank you to Chris / Tattooed Robot on TFW. He gave that to me for a phenomenal price. This is one of my favorite figures. That's Ultimate Prime. Probably the most money I've ever spent on a figure. It was close to $1,000. But yeah, there's Voltron. Yeah, everybody loves Voltron. Thanks for watching my Voltron review. You don't need to see any of that. Here's my new setup that I'm doing for my figure arts and others. Like, if you guys collect One Piece, variable arts, variable action heroes, that's a new line that I'm collecting. Some random figures I have. This is just my messy desk. Some messiness. These are all the things I have that I never had a chance to review or open, and so it's quite a mess here. This is the only other display I have. This is my Reximus, which came with no head, so I'm waiting for Toy Dojo to give me a new head for that. Can you show off the sculpting of the diaphragm? Okay, sure. Let me just finish this real quick, and I'll get back to the actual point of this video. Just some random collections here. And then that closet has a whole bunch of stuff. And this is my new display case, which I'm going to hang probably above here. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. This is my shooting area. There's some random figures I have down here. And that's it. So really messy. especially messy because I was doing comparisons for everyone with whichever figure they wanted to see next to MP Prime. Let's see. Sorry for the mess. There's a lot more going on downstairs. You guys should see my basement. Got an MP car to compare to Megs. Yes, sure. Give me a second. MP car. MP car. I'm just going to be bringing out every single figure in my collection today, aren't I? Any specific requests? Here he is with bad cubes. Let's see. The diaphragm. Somebody was asking about the diaphragm. What did you want to see with the diaphragm? The chest here. B. I do have B somewhere. I don't know what this is in reference to. Maybe this is also in reference to the X-ray that he had with Unicron. I actually don't know. It might be, but I'm not sure. And I think you can rotate the chest either way when you transform. Just an FYI. But I rotate it clockwise just because. Who knows? I have no idea. MPB, give me a second. He's kind of blocked. Here it is with Sphinx. Yeah, diecast. We've talked about diecast a couple of times, mostly in the leg area and the gun barrel. Does he have a silver finish? So he has a grayish finish with metallic flake, and it's going to be probably hard to see, but it is not just flat gray plastic. Almost all of this guy is painted, from the chest to the thighs to the legs. This might be bare plastic here, the black. And but even the crotch piece here, that's painted because I have paintwear here. So most of this guy is painted. And the helmet, you can see there's metallic. Let's see. It says shut up and give me your money in Japanese. There he is with Sphinx. Here he is with MPB, which is so tiny. I wish he was a little bit bigger. Can you pose Megatron stomping on B? Man, you guys are just cruel and demanding. There we go. Make a fist. Have him bend over. There, is that good? Is he heavy solid? He's about 1 pound, which is the heaviest of all the MPs that I've weighed him against, except, obviously, the Ultra Magnus mold and Star Saber, because they're huge. Any other requests? Am I missing anything? I'm trying to answer all your questions, but again, I can't. Some of the questions fade away way too fast on my screen. But yeah, he's heavier than MP10. He's heavier than Soundwave. He's heavier than Grimlock, I believe. Heavier than Shockwave, the new Shockwave. I'm not throwing him against the background. Ask Vangelis to do that. Chris will do anything. Do you think Hasbro is going to carry him? Unlikely, just because he's a gun. Hasbro USA, Hasbro Asia, obviously they do have him available. That's why. So this is, even though it's Takara Tomy, I mean, Hasbro Asia is the one that redistributes him, and that's how you get these coins. Japan actually doesn't get the coins. Jupsta, no problem. I'm happy to do it. Show him with Combiner Wars Devastator. I don't have one available. Please compare with other Devastator Megatrons. I've been doing that throughout the video. Where is Apollyon? I will post this video once the stream is done. It automatically does that. Here he is with that. Yeah, this is the technically Hasbro Asia does produce the Takara versions. So if you get a case of MP-36 or any MPs, it actually comes in a Hasbro case because they do produce it. Oh god, this figure sucks. It won't even stand. But yeah, this one is from an Asian distributor. That's how I got the coin. Distributor meaning, well, I got it through Toy Dojo. They just sent it to me from their distributor directly. Because they love me, and you should love them. Shout outs to Toy Dojo for sending it early. Wish he was shiny like Pollyanna, high heels. It's like a toy equals troll, MP5, Cosmic Rust. Can you transform him? Prime. Okay, everyone wants Prime. I will transform him again one last time. I've already done it. And it takes a long time, and it's really kind of boring to watch me do that. But I'm happy to do it if you guys want to see it again. Also, my review was posted this morning. To someone I don't know. Please, Sofa says, please don't transform him. Do you guys want? Yeah, do you guys want a review, another transformation? I can do it live. It's not that bad anymore. I've done it a bunch of times. But it does take a long time, and it will be kind of boring in between. Break it? No, I'm not gonna Rotor Storm. Come on, man. Yeah, if you guys want to see the transformation, just click my review. I posted it early this morning. I shot, edited, and rendered and uploaded this figure all through the night between like 10 o'clock and 4 in the morning. That's why I went live at like 5 in the morning. I just finally had to go to sleep. But there's a full transformation both ways. It's fine transforming both ways. Hammer time. Let's do it. Please do transform it again. All right. Toy Wars per minion. If not, Hot Rod Rodimus. Rodimus. I do have Rodimus. Give me 1 second. My collection is kind of crazy, so trying to get certain figures out is really kind of hard. Here he is with Downbeat. A lot of people like that figure. Shoot. Oh, dang it. Oh no, my collection's falling. The things I do for you guys. Okay, so there he is with Rodimus. His gun fell off. Downbeat is kind of worth getting. So I did a review on that. It's mixed for me. He looks the part, but there's some things that feel really not great about him. So yes, kiss him. I'll make Jazz kiss him. Okay. Any other chance of third party you have? I only have I do have Astro Train here. They said kiss. Okay, let's go home. Astro Train. I do have DX9's Astro Train. Marry him? How am I gonna marry? Downbeat over GT Jazz. I had GT Jazz for literally 1 day before I sold him, and I got him super cheap on a Black Friday sale from Toy Dojo. So for me, it's not G1 enough. Astro Train. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I just have so many figures. You guys are destroying my collection right now. Like literally. There he is with what's his name? Scourge, I forget, X-Transbot something. Can you see through the canyon when you look into it? No, I actually tried that earlier in the stream, and you cannot. I agree with Kai Zen. I don't know what Kai Zen said. Here he is with the X9s. For me, it looks really blurry. It looks out of focus, but hopefully... How does he look next to Shockwave? Oh, man, you guys are killing me. I just had Shockwave, and somebody asked me to transform him to gun mode. And so he's like partially transformed into gun mode right now. So let me do that while I answer your other questions. Please show how to assemble the cannon turret thing. Okay, sure. That's in the review as well that I did. But I can do that really quickly. It's pretty easy. Just give me a second to get Shockwave kind of transformed for somebody. Here he is with Shockwave. Shockwave's much tinier, which we know. What did you guys, who did you want to see? Oh, the cannon turret thing. Okay, so give me a second. Let me put some of this stuff back. Andrus is a really good figure if you don't have him overall. I think it was like the turning point for me with X-Transbots. That and their Junkions. Their Junkions are fantastic. So, let's see what. So the cannon thingy here, Ravage or Jaguar, you stay there. The cannon thingy. First thing you'll do is to press this button and to pull out the flight stand connector. You're going to pull this all the way down like this, but you're actually going to rotate it here. This piece needs the cannon. This slides on to the back like this. Goes in about that far, and then the handles flip out. Then for this piece, it's connected. You just detach it, go like this, and then you rotate here 90 degrees so that these two pieces are down like that, and then this goes on this rail. And then that, my friend, is how you make the cannon. You can see him scoping out his victims. MP-36 is around the size of Make Toys Desperatron. Yeah, I don't know. They're about the... he's a little bit taller, like a millimeter or two taller than... Oh, man. More paint scrapes on the helmet here. Bummer. I really think I'm going to have to buy a second one of these, which is crazy to think I'm going to spend another 200 plus bucks on a copy of the figure. Flight stand. Yeah, sure. We showed that off earlier as well. I'm going to be at this all day, aren't I? I'm going to be answering the same questions. That's okay. I have free time today. My wife and kids are not home today, so I can spend some time doing this. Flight stand. Split this open. I forget you have to split this open for the cannon or not. You can do it either way. In any case, you plug this right into this butt piece. It is really tight. There we go. You can have him fly. And this is ratcheted, the connections here, so you can have him do various different poses without much issue. Oh, sorry. Don't know. Somebody said something about sorry, but something about the release. I don't know what you said about the release. Anyway, so that's how the flight stand works. It also rotates here, and you can rotate them this way, so you can do things like that. You can have them do headstands if you want. You weren't here to see the gun mode? Yeah, I can do a transformation a little bit later. I already did one in the first hour. And I do have a full review that shows transformation both ways. So I think that might be a better option for you. Because most people say they would rather me answer other questions and then watch me struggle through another transformation. Sarge, thanks for hanging around as long as you did. Thanks for the questions and helping out. Can you do the lockdown mode? Yes, sure. Lockdown mode, you flip this down, rotate the barrel this far. So this piece is already kind of in the orientation that you want. But you do have to rotate this piece back to its original orientation where you have these slide things here. You're going to have this piece flip down. A little slot will go into his shoulder up here. So get this on, slide that on, tab that in, and then you take the cannon off the arm, and then you slide it on here. So that's how he looks. Any other questions? And then you can do the pew pew sound. Oh no! Now it's going for pig. Where do you think the... Man, these are coming too fast. Show him with a deluxe. With a deluxe? Come on, man. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know if I have a deluxe. I have a legend. I have a Voyager. The deluxes are in my other cabinet, which I showed off my collection before, and there's just a mess over there, so I can't even open the door right now to get a deluxe. He's 24 centimeters to the head. But yeah, I don't have a deluxe readily available. I'm sorry about that. I'd have to move like 14 boxes and open my other display cabinet. I'm happy to do as many MPs as I can, but unfortunately I don't have a deluxe to show it to you. That's it. I'm sold on this guy. Well, I'm glad I could help you drop 200 something odd dollars. I live vicariously through you guys spending your own money. Thanks for live casting. No problem, Christopher. I probably will stop pretty soon. I've been going at it for about an hour and a half, pretty much nonstop. And right now, my room looks like a mess. MP Ultra Magnus for comparison, please. No, I cannot do that. He's in the far back of my collection. I'd have to move like 5 or 6 figures. Unless somebody else really wants me to show that, I'd rather not. Wow, you guys are going really fast. Is Ratchet on the piece attaches to its butt strong Ratchet? Yeah, it is a fairly strong Ratchet, yes. We can hold him up without problem. Can the barrel on the back go to his side? Yes, so that we showed that off. That's one of the features that he has. Kind of come down on this double hinge here. Rotate this around like this. And I don't know what the trick is with this part, but I always mess it up. There we go. It doesn't go perfectly straight because of this piece that's kind of in the way, but this is as far as you can really get it to go. Alright, so he does have that ability to relive your G1 dreams. I should make a t-shirt that says that. Relive your G1 dreams. One joke I did make after the fact, I'm not a very funny guy, especially when I do reviews. If you guys have seen, I'm pretty bland. But one of the things I commented on was the fact that they got a Long Life Design Award. And I joked that they gave him the Long Life Design Award because you need a long life to actually transform this guy, because it takes forever to actually do that. Robot to gun mode is way harder than the other way around. Oh, yeah, Jeff, you know what? I totally didn't remember that it was in the movie. Is that the only position for the barrel? Can it be rotated closer to the middle of his back? No. Like the official look, it's always directly over here. Do you do more live feeds in the future? Yeah, I'm happy to do more live feeds in the future. I've only started doing it because they released it with the new update to YouTube. YouTube's iPhone app that allows me to do it much easier. Somebody said Galvatron. I think they wanted a comparison. Here he is with Tyrant. I don't have Sovereign. People keep thinking I do have him just because I did a review on him. That was a production sample, and I have to give all those back. Take no keepsies. Starscream. No, Gabriel, I hate you. We already did a comparison with him. I don't have I can't do a live feed on Phoenix because I did do a pre-production review of that. You can check that out. Very good, but I can't. With a final release, I could, I guess, do one if you want. All right, Gabriel. So I feel bad for you, so I'll go ahead and do it again. The reason I don't like doing the Starscream one is because I have him in a very particular pose that I don't want to really get him out of. But there he is. Hopefully that helps. Transformation is kind of a pain. The cannon is a little loose on his arm. I talked about that in the review. So there's a mistransformation that you can do. And you basically slide it one more notch down. It's not supposed to do that, but if you slide it one more notch down, it actually secures it more in place. You can do that. I wouldn't do it. Compare with the actual gun now. My only gun that I have, which is for self-defense only, and well, actually recreational shooting, I suppose too. I don't have. It's a Taurus, and I don't have that available. It's in my gun safe. BB7 Starscream, I don't know anything about that. Sorry, I'm trying to get some of my collection back in its shelf. You guys are putting it all in disarray. All the features with the cannons are referenced to the G1 toy because I don't remember in the cartoon. Is he your favorite MP Megatron? Yes, he is my favorite MP Megatron. Some of the cannon stuff like that, yeah, is a reference mostly to the G1 toy. I think one of the commenters Jeff did say that the barrel coming to the side is in the movie as well. Pig, are you avoiding me on purpose? I kind of have the idea that you're doing it because of my YouTube name. No, I'm sorry. I've been missing it just because it goes really quickly. I only get to see maybe three comments at a time. So go ahead and retype your question in, and I'll try to get to it. Oh, then it doesn't matter? No, I don't. Hans gets the flames. Okay. Hey, downshift. He does need more of a neck. Is he silver or white? He's gray, and it has metallic flake all through it. It's going to be a little bit hard to see, but it is metallic flake. He's probably like at least 60 or 60+%, maybe even more painted. Even this piece here is painted. It's not just molded gray plastic. You can see the paint rub on my piece here. What else do you guys want to see? Yeah, Alex, I'll post this video afterwards. It's getting super long, but it will be posted. I don't have a Despertron, sorry. What parts are die-cast? The foot, the gun barrel, and some other random parts that I don't know, but almost the entirety of the foot is. And the front of the gun barrel. Omega Supreme, I don't have Omega Supreme. Is he black, or is it gray? So this is more of a gunmetal, dark gunmetal. It's not black, I would say, because it also has metallic flake in it. This is more of a gunmetal gray, but this is like a darker gray. Not quite black. This is black here. And these pieces on the side, I think, are molded in black plastic. But this is kind of like a shiny gray. Same with the cannon. So all the fingers, yeah, all the fingers aren't pinned individually. The forefinger has 2 joints, here and here. And then the bottom fingers, these are molded in 2 points, pinned at the base, pinned at the first joint, but they're all 3 fingers at that joint. Okay? The thumb, I'm sorry. The thumb is not pinned, but it does have a hinge. So you do have a lot more articulation than you typically get with an MP figure. You should subscribe if you're not a subscriber. No Dr. Evil Pose then? No Dr. Evil Pose. I'm sorry. Alright, so I think the comments are dying down. Looks like viewership is going down as well. We had like 100+ folks. Now we're going down. Do you know if US stores will ship this guy with an orange gun barrel plug? So I'm getting to your question, Hans. I don't know. I can't say for sure one way or the other because I can't speak for all retailers. This did come from Toy Dojo's supplier. And it didn't have an orange barrel plug, but the clamshell for him did have space for a plug at the tip of this and at the tip of the suppressor. So don't be surprised if you have one. The helmet thing, it's not pegged. I don't see a peg, but it sits into place quite firmly. I mean, you can't lift them up with it, but it sits really firmly. It's not shaking or anything like that. Oh, somebody asked for MPP10 comparison. I did that before, but let me go ahead and do that for you guys. Yeah, he should have made... If he was going to make a clone of Optimus Prime, he should have made one this big, right? I mean, that's what I would have done. If you can control any kind of robot, why not make a bigger, stronger robot? Since the barrel is metal, removal of plastic tip will be very easy. Yeah. I'm sorry, somebody asked the question and I missed it. Oh, somebody asked about the battle damage. So I showed this off earlier, but we can take off the face. See the X-ray feature there. Take off the chest by just pushing up on that. It slides right off. It actually has like metal stuff in here. I don't really know why they would do that. Is this diecast? This might be diecast actually. Battle damage chest. And it's actually molded. It's not just painted. It actually is molded in a damaged manner. And there we go. I would have waited an eternity for this. He wouldn't have this in that scene. He would have this. Did he have it in his left hand or his right hand? And his gun is standard MP style. Because he does have finger articulation, he can actually get his finger in the trigger area. And the thumb wraps around like that. There we go. There, we can have... Oh. That's... Can you pose him stomping on Prime? Man, come on. Gosh, people are so mean. Somebody earlier had me stomping on Bumblebee, and now Prime. Sure, why not? Execution pose, I suppose. Reform manager, it looks like. Okay. Alright. We're getting close to 2 hours. So unless you guys... Oh man, viewers are going back up. I don't know if this ain't Hot Rod's fault, whoever left that gun. Whoever left that gun is Blitzwing. This is Blitzwing's gun. I believe that's the widely held assumption. Because it looks like Blitzwing's gun. No, but it is Hot Rod's fault. Nobody likes Hot Rod or Rodimus. Such heroic nonsense. Oh, I should do that because I hate MP Ironheart, so I should do that. But I have too much on my floor in front of my display case at this point. I don't... oh, since I have an extra one... Here, why... Just laying around. I don't know why I just have him laying around. And because eventually somebody will ask me for a Polygon comparison, even though I've done it like 4 times. There you go. Oh man, half of my figures on one shelf fell down. Here he is with Blur. David, he only had something, was trying to help Blitzwing. Big dude with a tiny gun. Yeah. That's what people say. I think it is supposed to be his gun in the movie that Megatron uses. The coloring also makes sense. Alright, here's my least favorite MP that I can remember. In terms of look, robot mode look. That's all I'm saying. Engineering, he's actually quite fantastic. Transformation. There we go. Where's this cannon? And it would be... Yeah, die. He is about 15.6 ounces, and I know this because I answered that question before. Better than the old MP Megs. You are correct. Come on, man. You can't compare him to anything. This guy is more awful than any MP figure or most Transformer figures, period. The fact that we had to pay so much money for him is ridiculous. Can you please make a comparison with MP1? I don't have an MP1 near me. So I can't unfortunately do that. So I apologize. My only MP1 that I currently have is in a box. The other one my son has, but it's in his room. So I'm not going to do dead air for 2 minutes to get him. Best toy ever? MP5? Come on. Now you're just trolling me. Can you pair it with a cone head? Yes, I can do that. We're just going to leave Ironhide there because I don't give a crap about him. This mold is definitely not worth the money, the Conehead mold. If you can get the KO, I would recommend doing that. It's overall better, for the better value. But if you need to be official like me and you're a weirdo like that, yeah, you have really no choice. You guys are actually talking about actual guns now? How did I miss this? Can he hold MP? Can Megatron hold MP5? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, people often ask me if I know like all this background information or secret stuff that on releases of new figures. I don't know crap, guys. I mean, for the most part, maybe some MMC Ocular Max stuff since I do some work for them. Their official video manuals. If you guys didn't know, I do those, but I don't really have the inside track on anything. I don't know anything about the Toy World Coneheads. All I know is they're pretty big, so they don't really work for me. Look how ugly this guy is. Look at his legs. They took it a little too far with him. They did a good mix of detail, I think. They have enough detail. They added some cool things that are from different iterations of the character. This guy, he's just so blah. Frank K, I honestly don't know what's coming out from MMC. I think all the stuff that I know about has already been revealed. It's just, they reveal stuff fairly early. So, we know about the Insecticons. We know about their Drift and whoever else that is. Their Alpha and Beta. So we kind of know about this stuff. It's all kind of in the works. Just it has a long lead time. Yes, I agree. Ironhide sucks. MMC World needs to happen soon. Same with Cyclonus. The World mold is pretty cool. The Cyclonus mold, I hate that mold. Honestly, that mold is pretty terrible. It's definitely the worst mold that... it's not terrible. I'm being a little too unfair there. It's not terrible, but it's the weakest of their molds that I can remember. It doesn't extend on both ends. It only extends on the front. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, hopefully, because I've only been extending on one end. Did you get any time with Calidus? Who's Calidus again? The Fembot molds, for MMC, I would have to say I disagree, because only because I think the Cyclonus mold is worse. I can't compare it with Devastator. I don't have one. Rodimus, with Rodimus. Is that what you guys are asking? I don't have Fans Toy Sovereign. Sorry about that. I did show him off with Galvatron, the Tyrant, a couple of times. Hey, Megatron. I'm doing a review on you. Hopefully I'm doing you justice. It does not feel cheap. Soundwave crazy. Can sound. I don't know what that said. DX9 Rodimus. I don't have one. Calidus is Rodimus. Oh, gotcha. I don't know about that. I saw the early sample really early on, but I haven't messed with it. So, unfortunately, I didn't have any real honest playtime. Is this gun to scale with the actual Walter? I have no idea. I think it's too big. Hey, come on, MC Junebug, be nice. Everyone should be nice in the comments. Not everyone can afford everything. I know I can't. I'm sure there are things you guys can afford that I cannot as well. Oversized Grimlock. I do have an oversized Grimlock. Hold on one second. But mine doesn't have a head. It came like that. So I can show you what it potentially looks like. But I don't have a head on my Grimlock. Waiting for a replacement head. I haven't had any caffeine today. I don't actually drink caffeine. Oh, no, that's not true. I'd have tea. Make toys are MP-36. I prefer MP-36. I'd even buy Despotron because just for me, the aesthetics don't work. Price is about $230 US in the US. I'm sure you can get them for different prices at different. That's not FT Grimy. That was the KO oversized Reximus Prime. Just to let you know. Next is Soundwave. Yeah, sure. We've done that a couple times, but I'm happy to do it one more time. Wish you had a Crimzeek. I do have a Crimzeek for MP5. Does it come with coin only pre-order? So with Toy Dojo, you get the coin. This coin for free with all pre-orders. After it's actually released, you do have to pay extra for it. So that's why I always recommend, if you guys actually like this stuff, look at Toy Dojo and pre-order for them. What's the next figure you're really hyped for? Oh gosh, I don't know. I think the next figure that's Transformers related, I'm not sure. Right now, I'm interested in Solo Chogokin Megazord. That's probably the next figure I'm kind of hyped about. I hope the customs won't BS over the MP-36 here in the Netherlands. Yeah, I hope so too. Masterpiece Dinobot? Masterpiece Dinobot. Oh, I see. I'm not that hyped about that. I did like Beast Wars, but it's not crazy high on my list. I'm definitely more of a Soundwave. Get Soundwave carrying him. I could do that, but that's a lot of effort. Here he is with MP10 again, for those that were asking. Both hands do detach, so I showed that off. The right hand and the left hand just slide down. So KFC can do a really easy mod for that if they want. Fall, damn you. Hey, Brayden, how's it going? I don't know if I've met you before, but nice to meet you now. Can Laserbeak stand on his arm or shoulder? People have asked that. He doesn't have a mounting point, but I showed him standing just fine, easily on his forearm. All right. So we're getting close to 2 hours. I do want to call it quits at some point, but if you guys actually have questions, I'm happy to answer them. How much could I pick up in MP10 Optimus in the US? I don't know. Probably less than $200 though. Like, it depends on the version. So if you have the original Hasbro Toys R Us version, those go for like $250 right now. But maybe one of the reissues or something like that, you can probably get it for like $200 or maybe a little bit less. Who knows? I'm not a pricing guide, unfortunately. All right, so one thing, do you like, yes, so people ask that, I didn't collect DX9 Mitron, is just not my ideal. I think it made a lot of compromises. The face sculpt and upper body are better for me. The upper body for Mitron, I really liked, the chest, but everything else, I didn't think it was great. The face sculpt was really good. Aside from this version of Megatron, MP-36, I think Mitron had the best head sculpt. Mitron had an ugly backpack. Yes, it did. People complain about this one, but I think Mitron's is far worse. All right, so the last thing I might do, just because people have asked about it, even though I've done it, I might do one last transformation. I'd rather actually not. If you guys have questions, though. Yeah, I'm sorry to convince you. Sorry, did I say something inappropriate, Ronald? I apologize for that. I'm not sure what I said, but I apologize if it's inappropriate. This has an ugly back section, yeah. What negatives? Negatives are, mine came out of the box with paint issues, like some stuff here. All this bicep stuff, that's actually not from Transformation. So some QC issues there. Not terrible for a mass-produced product, though. The other downsides are that the transformation is really complex and time-consuming. The first time through with the instructions, which are like 5 or 6 pages, took me more than an hour to do, which is a long time for me to sit down and try to transform one way. But once you get it done, I did it on the live stream earlier. You can see that. I did it without any cuts, and I got through it just fine. You can always wait for the KO price. It's up to you. If you like KOs, you can go ahead and get a KO. For me, I do have some KOs, but most of them are for characters that don't exist. So like the white MP10, I really wanted that to sit next to my Ultra Magnus. So like right here, I really wanted that. And there's no official one for that, so I bought a KO there. But I don't typically buy many KOs. Rob, that was an April Fool's joke. I know Will from GCI quite well. That was a troll for April Fools. He doesn't even have them in stock right now. Will he said when I asked him why he did it, he said he does it for the lulz. All right, so it doesn't look like we're. Oh, I would do that, Kev C, but that's a lot of work for not that much output. But here, I'll have Rumble try to carry his cannon. I tried to show it before. Somebody asked it before. This thing is huge, though. It's not going to be easy for Rumble to carry it. Yeah, so. Just showing off some of the sounds. All right, we're coming. Show us your collection. Rex, I showed it off earlier. Actually, in the video, because somebody asked that. So if you want to watch it when I re-up this this live stream, you can watch it there. All right, no more questions? No more questions? If we have no more questions, I'm going to call it a break in just a few minutes. No, Downshift, you're killing me, man. Rumble will forever be blue in my mind. I know it's technically a mistake, and we all kind of agree with that in terms of logic. But in my heart of hearts, this guy will always and forever be blue and Rumble. Right, 12T if you have sub to me and sub back. Okay, interesting. Can you tell Brian that... Brian who? That Takara is better than DX9? I can't. It's hard to say better. It's really for you. I don't have Despertron or Mitron here. The best I can do is Apollyon. I didn't pick up either of those characters. He's been my stand-in for forever. As you did a review of Primorian, would this be much bigger than MP? Yeah, Primorian is almost exactly in between the size of MP1 and MP10. So since he's MP10, Primorian is going to be somewhere above that. Apollyon wears diapers. I mean, he wears kind of diapers too. Honestly, I think he's actually looks more like a diaper than Apollyon. I like Apollyon though. And so you can see the stark contrast between the silver paint that Apollyon has, which is not the best paint, but it is highly reflective and has held really well in terms of scrapes and stuff like that. This is more of a gray, and it has been scraping a lot with the transformations I've done. Here he is with the annoying angled MP10. So I mentioned this before. One of my friends, Eric, mentioned that dropped some potential behind the scenes news that there might be a new Masterpiece, a cartoon accurate version of Masterpiece Optimus in the works with interchangeable parts that are battle damaged for the movie, like Megatron here. That's a rumor. I'm not saying it's true. I just heard about it today from Eric. So, Fans Toys is better than Takara. I want Fans Toys Megatron. I would like to see one from them. What was the last toy review you have seen from other reviewers? And what's your fave? I don't know. I mean, I really like... I don't watch a lot of other reviewers nowadays. I watch the ones I watch are kind of like for fun. So I like Vangelis just because he's hilarious. Chris is a really funny guy. Even though he does like reviews on toys that are literally like 2 years old and like a Legends class figure, he'll get like 20,000 views just because he's that great. Ages 3 and Up, A3 review with Alex and Boris. I really like them because they're really fun. They're funny guys, and I love their blooper videos. And I really and I know them personally, so I like watching them. I do like watching P4L. He's one of the first people that I ever watched as a collector 3 years ago. I love Bobby. Bobby's actually not too far from me. I don't watch a lot of his reviews because he talks about paint a whole lot, which I'm actually ironically doing with this guy, but that's because it's an issue with this guy. Bobby thinks it's an issue with every figure, but I do like Bobby. He's a really nice guy. Had me over. He's a fun dude. I'll probably be at his annual barbecue later this year. Theo is funny, but I haven't seen one from him in a really long time. P4L, I really like Ben. Like I said, I mimic my style or base my style off of him, kind of off the cuff, not really planned. It's just toy, hands, and go. I don't really script anything out. Kaizen, paint rules, yes. What about MGO? I don't watch a lot of MGO. The freaking geek, right? And maybe because I also got tired of him saying first verse, same as the first. Second verse, same as the first. But I don't have any people that I really hate. All the reviewers that I've met in person have always been good people. Chris Vangelis, I met him. TJ Duckett, he's a really nice guy in person. Ben or PL, he's a great guy. Bobby Skullface, Bobby in real life, he's great. I don't think there's really any person that I've met in person or even interacted online. Although Optobotomist thinks I hate him for some reason. I don't hate him, but one time he commented and he thought I hated him. But yeah, I don't hate you, Optobotomist, if you're watching. I got tired of MGOs because he keeps saying precious every time. Oh, Ben's Collectibles, if you're watching, I love that guy. He's the most optimistic man in the world. But I'd like to put it the same way my friend Chris, Tattooed Robot, says. He's like the Billy Mays of Transformer reviewers. He likes everything. So it's hard to take his reviews that seriously. But when I do joint reviews with him, he's always been a blast. Seeing him at TFCon this past year in Toronto was great. All the best on your health, Ben, if you're watching. We need to catch up. But yeah, he is everything for him is glorious, right? Glorious is I think his favorite word. My cousin Brian says the Power Rangers toy is better than the Transformers masterpiece. That's arguable. Maybe the Solar Chogokin Megazord that's coming out might be better than most Transformers. Solar Chogokin line is great. I just started collecting that. Where did you get that from? That Megs? It's MP-36 Masterpiece 36, the official one. So he's the official figure. And since nobody's asking any more questions really, or asking me to show off anything, I'm just gonna start just bringing in figures while I chat with you guys for a bit. You guys can ask me about other stuff. I know this was a Megatron focused chat, but I think we've covered most of that in the first 2 hours. So Ben is probably my favorite reviewer. Bobby and you are second. Second, get out of here, Carter. There's no room for people who only rank me second. Glorious domination. Ages 3 and up is great. Bumblebee next to Rumble, please. Bumblebee next to Rumble. Okay, hold on one second. I did have Bumblebee out here. How much do you spend on toys every month? Silver, do not ask me that, because if you ask me that, I'll have to start calculating. And if I do that, one, I'll be super sad, and two, my wife will probably kill me if she knew how much I spent. But I do a lot of buying and selling in terms of I'll buy something and then sell it back out. So no, you don't have to go, Carter. I was just messing with you. I don't care. I'm not even my favorite reviewer, so the fact that I'm not your favorite reviewer doesn't say much. Toy Dojo did get their stock in early, yes. Hey, Chad, how's it going? I thought you were going to give me some hassle. Chad is the local here, one of my buddies. He said he was going to give me a hard time. So if he starts giving me a hard time, I want the crowd to put him in his place. So will there be a new Prime coming? George, somebody did mention that to me. I have no support to that. He might be, but people are saying there's going to be more tune-oriented, less gorilla arms, and more battle damage options where you can swap out his abs to recreate the final scene, kind of like the battle damage we have with this option here. Chad, mowing the grass? Really, dude? Come on. When I told you I was going to be here at 2 o'clock. Can Megatron transform with the chest on him? Yes, you can. Nothing needs to come off. Not even the cannon has to come off. All in one transforming. If you want to take this off, you want to take the chest off, you can. If you want, and I recommend it, just because there are a lot of clearance issues and tight tolerances, I recommend you take off the face that you have so you don't damage it. Mine already got damaged up here. You can see that small speck of scrape there. Some people's noses got damaged, so I would recommend taking off the face if you were going to transform him. I just realized I can scooch back and actually read old comments. Have not heard anything about Fans Toy Skylinks. I thought that was an April Fool's joke, but they kind of hinted at that before. Who knows? I want to see Thew get his hands on this. Shenanigans will ensue. All right. Do you know when fans will see Phoenix in stock? I don't know. Probably in the next couple months. He was pretty ready. So if you saw my review, Rob said till May. He's pretty much ready to go. I would have been totally satisfied with that sample as a final release. All the tolerances were great, so I had no issues with that. So I think it's just a matter of when they can get it in their production line. How have you felt about Megatron in general and his character design? You mean not just this one? It's weird, right? When you think about it, how Transformers all came to be, just kind of like a mashing of different toys that created a story around it. It's weird that we had a leader that was a handgun that had to be used by one of his minions, essentially, to be useful in his alt mode. But I like the look of him. His kind of helmet thing is very unique. You don't see this kind of helmet design really anywhere else. I mean, you see Spartan helmets quite often, but it's a really unique design. I do like him. I do have a lot of nostalgia for him. But I mean, he's one of the worst bad guys ever. He can never win. He never wins. Even when he killed Prime, he didn't kill Prime, but he died and got transformed or whatever. So, can you think the back cannon? The back cannon is pinned into place, so I would say no. So it's pinned right here. And I think there's another pin maybe in here. Yeah, down here. So no, I'm going to say negatory on that. There's another pin here. So if you're comfortable removing pins, you can probably use a soldering iron, heat this up and pull that out. Or you can use a soldering iron down here or a pin punch maybe. Although it doesn't go all the way through, so I don't think. So long story short, anything is possible. Live your dream, but I wouldn't do it. To avoid paint scraping, should I keep it as a display piece? Yeah, I do take a little bit of qualm with that. I do think that not transforming your figure is a little sad, but then again, I'm really sad because I'm actually considering buying a second one just to not transform. So what can I say? Please review Grassor and get the rest of them. I do have Grassor. Where is it? I thought I did a sample review of Grassor. Oh no, I didn't. They didn't let me do it, but I did have Grassor for a bit. He's great. Sorry, he's really big and I can't get him in frame. He's really great. I do like the Gigapower dinosaurs, and in terms of robot mode size, I like them a lot. Paper's probably going to end this very soon. Yeah, we're starting to deviate a lot. I'm starting to do just random Q&A. Who designed MP Mags? I believe it was Kobayashi, since he's been back in the driver's seat. But I can't officially confirm. I'm pretty sure. Somebody in the comment section is probably smarter than me, has read the MP book too. What's the best masterpiece figure in your opinion, third party included? Oh gosh, and that's I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that. Fans Toy Stomp is really, really high up there. They do a really good job in both modes, articulation, just overall finish. And since it was closer to the end of the line, it worked out a lot of the issues that they had previously in terms of engineering and so forth. So Stomp's really high up there. I'll always have a soft spot for MP10, even though he's not perfect. Soundwave, MP Soundwave is probably one of my favorite as well, with the gimmicks and the tapes. I love Soundwave, and I never had Soundwave as a kid. I always got Blaster, the good guy, and the Autobot. And come on, everybody knows Soundwave is way cooler. Sovereign, no, I could not give it to Sovereign. I think Sovereign has a lot of issues. When I reviewed him, I don't know. I thought he was good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a really good figure, but he's definitely not in my I don't even think he's in my top 10. Can Megatron hold Optimus Prime's gun? Good question. I don't have MP10's gun around, so I can't answer that for you. Oh, you know what? Here, this is interesting. So I have this piece that my friend did for me. He did a custom work on this, and it's the KFC gun, but it should be fairly similar to, in terms of tabbing, as the official gun, since it has to go into hands. No, the tab is, I mean, he might be able to hold it, but he's not going to tab into place. Yeah, so I think the short answer is no. Somebody's getting what? Sovereign's not in your top 10? Sorry, he's just not. He's not in my top 10 at all. His transformation is kind of a mess, and while he's good, I don't. He also came second for me, so you got to take that into account. I had Tyrant for a long time, and I think while Tyrant is not by no means perfect, it wasn't enough for me to go out and upgrade because again, I don't have unlimited money. So yeah, Hans, like I said, my review sample, I did a review on it. I think it was good. It didn't wow me, and the alt mode was not as good to me. But it's a good figure. People are getting me wrong that that I'm not saying it's not a bad figure by any stretch, and it's heavy. It's fans toys heavy and everything like that, so it's great. But it's just not for me. I don't think it's in the top 10 at all. One of probably my sleeper favorites that most people probably won't even put on their list, which is a shame because they may not have even given it a chance. Oh, he just fell. Is the Junkions. The KFC Junkions are probably the most surprising figure I've had in a really long while. One, because people give KFC a lot of crap, but I think they're a really good company now. They and X Transbots have really stepped it up, and this along with their junkyard or whatever, dump yard, whatever it's called, is a really really fun figure. They're really really fun, really well executed, really good quality. So if you don't own the Junkions, I highly recommend them. The only bad part is this like butt flap thing. But the interchangeable parts, I'm still waiting for them to release some more Junkions so that you can intermingle the parts. They said they were going to do that. I have no idea what the status of that is yet, though. Maybe the Junkions didn't sell as well as they wanted, so they kind of scrapped it. Five local guys bought them. 4 of them broke from first transformation. Really, Rob? Oh. Oh, you're talking about Sovereign. Yeah, there's some parts about Sovereign that are definitely potential issues. Can you give my cousin a shout out, Missy Parfait? Yeah, sure, Missy Parfait. Shout out. I don't know you, but happy to do it. I think you've said that a couple times, Brayden. I'm sorry, I kept missing it. Rob, definitely look at the KFC Junkions. KFC, what's that? It's Keith's Fantasy Club. It's a Transformers company. Hi, people call me Belle. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Blue Streak is show accurate. Okay, so I think we're getting towards the end here. Cartoon Color MP10. Yeah, that's the Cartoon Color one. My Takara one is somewhere else. Can you say... All right, Bart Simpson. We're not doing that shout. Ab rotation. He does have rotation. He can go 360 probably. Well, maybe not, but he can go more than you'll ever need. And then he has an ab crunch here. You can push this up and even get almost 90 degrees. So a lot of great articulation. That's one place where this guy really, really excels and shines. Tyrantron, I don't know much about the release date on that. I haven't even gotten a review sample yet, so it could be a little while. Can you shout out Donald J. Trump? Sure, Donald J. Trump, shout out to our president. All right, so I think we're coming towards the end of this. It's been 133 minutes, so we've been... We're still T-Man. I'm still going, man. T-Man, I don't know you personally, but I know you're Maryland folk, and you're close. And my stomping grounds used to be Baltimore when I was there for college, and I see your videos sometimes and your hunts. So shout out to T-Man. Hopefully you are the same T-Man that I'm talking about. Oh, so the gun does make sound. Three different switches. One does transformation sounds, one is the pew pew sound, and the middle one is various Japanese ones. Yeah, that's what I thought too, man, just from seeing your icon. Thanks for joining. We're actually near the end. I've been going at it for a really long time, so getting pretty tired. So unless somebody has anything else they want to... he's not a lot heavier. He's about 1 ounce heavier. So unless people have any other things that they want me to show, I've really just been winging it and chatting with people for the last like 20 minutes. So we're kind of off topic here. If you guys like this, though, I'm happy to do more streams. The box is about as big as MP10's. I haven't measured it, but I think maybe not as wide. It's about 15 by 13 by 6 or 7, something like that. Yeah, the voice box is kind of distorted. I have no idea why. Yeah, I shouted out down. Yeah, if you guys are offended by that, I'll also shout out Obama. I'm actually not a... Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into politics, but I'm not a Trump supporter really. So if that's why you're leaving, rest assured, I just did it because somebody asked me to do it, not because I'm actually a supporter. All right, so I'm going to be doing more streams like this in the future if you guys like it. Obviously, you guys mostly joined because of the early release of this. I know you guys wouldn't join normally in this degree and this volume, but I'll probably try to do one maybe once a week or once every other week, probably Saturday nights or something like that after the kids are asleep, and we'll just talk about various things, whatever I have available, okay? Thanks, Carter. His leg comparison, is it that easy to... comparison? I don't know. Jeff, what do you mean comparison? The last thing I want to know is I don't have a Gewalt, so Gavalt actually is how you pronounce it. I don't have them, sorry. I don't have any Blitzwings. Thanks, Megatron. I appreciate your support. I like your design overall. Review sample of Fans Toys and Mega Supreme. Highly unlikely, I would say, but who knows. Kev, thanks for stopping by. You were here for a long time. I really enjoyed it as well, so I want to do more of them. Looks like he has metal behind the faceplates. Yeah, the thing behind here is... It might be diecast. I have no idea, actually. But it's the X-ray that you see in the movie when he's being transformed into Galvatron by Unicron. So it's a nice little Easter egg there. All right. That's it, guys. I'm going to be done for now. Thanks again for coming. Thanks again for liking, subscribing. Keep up to date with all my news on Facebook. And really, that's really about it, okay? I appreciate it. Hopefully, this will be uploaded for those of you guys that want to call part of it later on today. I don't know how long it will take to process on YouTube. All right? Have a good one, everyone. Bye.